Hi, I'm Connie Townsend, group fitness instructor with the Wenatchee Racquet Athletic Club, doing another at-home workout. Today we're going to focus on the core, but it's going to include our shoulders and our hips. Stability for core, shoulders, and hips. We're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up. It's just to get our big muscle groups warmed up. You can also, if you need more of a warm-up, you can take a walk or do some jumping jacks, get the blood pumping. We're going to start with wide squats. So feet a little wider than your shoulder width, shoulders back, belly button pulled in toward the core, toward the spine. That's what activates your core. You're going to just do a few little squat pulses. So your body weight's in your heels. Keeping the head neutral. Don't look down, don't look up. Warming up the big leg muscles, the glutes. Activating the core. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it in closer. Same thing. Get a few more muscles involved with this. So your body weight is back behind you. You can feel your weight go into those heels. 4, 3, 2, 1. Up, take your right leg, step it back into a lunge. And left leg. Legs are hip width apart. Doing some big athletic movements to get as many muscle groups at once operating and warmed up. Land on that back heel. Drop the back knee toward the floor. Let's get the arms going. And a jumping jack arm. Gets the heart rate up. Gets the upper body working. Don't lean over, shoulders are back. Upper body upright. Woo. One more time. And then I'll show you from the side. Some inchworms to start activating all the core muscles. The legs, the hips, the glutes, the back, the shoulders, and the chest. So you're hinging forward from your hips, trying to keep your legs as straight as you can, because we're trying to get a stretch back here as well. You're going to come down, walk your way out, hands under the shoulders, hips down, belly button pulled in. It's a full plank. And walk your way back up. So you're coming down. Hold. Back up. Now on the next one, we're going to walk out and we're going to hold it there. Now with your hips down and keep them stationary, you're going to tap the opposite shoulder. 8, 7, 6, 5. Walk it back in and up. Now I'll show you from the side still. We're still standing. You're going to do a narrow squat pulse. 4 of them with a back lunge. We're all alternating sides, going from squat to lunge to squat to lunge. So legs hip width apart, shoulders back, belly button pulled in. We're going to pulse. 2, 3, 4. Step back. 2, 3, stay low. 1, 2, 3. Other leg. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoulders are back. One more time. So we'll have to do it again. Woo. All right. One-legged deadlift. Let's lift those arms to hold, hinging from the hip. We're going to come forward, then pushing into that heel, using your hamstrings and glutes to pull you back up. We're working on stability. We're working on that standing leg. The back of that leg, really activating those muscles. We're working on the stabilizers in the hip. Our belly button's pulled in, so we've activated the core. With a nice active core, we can have better stability. Whoa. Woo. Now one more time. And up. Now, showing you from the front. That same leg we're going to keep standing on. We're going to come into a squat. It's going to become a one-legged squat. Other leg, point the toe, straighten it out, move it back a little. It's at an angle. We're going to use quite a few of the stabilizing muscles back here to just lift. Toe is facing front. Standing knee is facing forward. Can we add on? Up, up, point the toe, push into this heel. Whew. 4, 3, 2, we're just keeping the arms up because that makes the shoulders work more. All right. Back to our narrow squat pulse into a lunge for 4. All right, 1, 2, 3. Stay down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe. Our heart rate's up. One more set. Those legs are burning. Step in. All right, your other leg's going to support you. Arms up. Just going to come into a one-legged deadlift. Trying to raise that other one up and back. Keep your eyes fixed ahead of you on the floor, but don't lift that chin. Whoa. You're going to be much better on one side than the other. Reach out through the fingertips. And that also gets the shoulders to activate. One more. Alright, just one quick moment of stretch here. You're going to drop down, forearms on the thighs, and just straighten those legs. Bend, straighten, bend, and up and hold. Feel the back of the legs, the hamstrings and the glutes stretching, and the calves even. And down. We're going to tuck and round the back. Feet are wide. And then we're going to drop the belly and arch that back. Lift the tailbone. Stretches in the spine. And back up. We're going to come around, tuck, round, and then open up the chest by pulling back. Inhale. And exhale. All right, we're still going to stay standing for a moment. Now we will use really light weights for this. For this first one though, I'll use probably about 5 pounds. Depends on your shoulders. We're going to do some squatted swimmers. So our legs are hip width apart. Palms are facing backward. Arms stay straight, but don't lock those elbows. One arm will be coming forward and up beside the ear as the other one draws back behind. You're alternating, so come on down, shoulders back, chin is neutral, and one up, one down, pull, and pull. Your body weight's in your heels. You're pulling that navel toward the spine. So we've got a lot of shoulder activation, building some back and chest strength, arms, legs, as we are squatted, and core. Almost there. 4, 3, pull them back, and up to standing. All right. I'll show you from the front and from the side on this next one. Now we can use one or both, maybe even a lighter weight. Your arms are straight out in front of the shoulders, and then bend at the elbows. So upper arm is straight out from the shoulders, and we're going to pull the elbows as close as we can. Draw the navel in, loose knees so we don't arch the back. Keep the spine neutral. Push straight up and lower. Keep drawing those elbows together. They're probably not going to touch. So now we've got the shoulder stability working. This is what we're working on with this one. We're working in your back, your chest, your arms as well, and your core. Only do what you can. Let's count 8, 7, 6. Keep those elbows close. 4, 3, 2. Whew. Bring them down. Now divide up your weights. And how heavy will depend on your shoulders. We're going to do two kinds of side lateral raises for the shoulders. But we're involving a lot more shoulder muscles than just your middle deltoid. All right. So, first off, thumbs are facing out. Palms are facing forward. You're going to come up, pour the water out, and down. Now, as you come up, it's hard to keep the arms even, but that's the great part about using two separate weights. The brain has to coordinate. We have that rotation at the top, and that's working all the finer stabilizing muscles. Ooh. Keep the elbows loose, and keep the shoulder blades down your back. One more here. But then, we're going to change it a little. So start with your palms facing backward. We're going to lift with the pinkies leading the way. And turn. Down. Up. Turn. So thumb up, thumb down. Up and down. Now you may not want to go very high on these. You can keep them low. And lighter weights, maybe. 2 more. Yep. And bring them down. Woo. All right, we're going to get the mat out. And then you're going to keep maybe a little heavier weight or two. And then in a little bit, we'll also use even smaller weights. So, get the mat out. And we're going to come down to a sitting position. All right. So, maybe a little heavier. I'm going to use a 5-pound. This will be a kayak paddle. Although instead of two separate ends of the paddle, I'm going to just use one weight in the center. So it's kind of a kayak paddle. All right, the important thing is we're going to lift through the top of the head. We're going to keep the spine nice and straight, so do not let it round. And we're going to be leaning. Now don't lean too far back. You don't want to go so far back that your abdominal muscles can't support your spine. Feet are a little wide. All right, we're just going to dip and up and around. So you're turning. The torso turns, not just the arms. Lean, lean. So full body motion, bringing the core and the whole upper body, as well as your lower back, which is part of the core. Four, 3, 2, bring it back in. You can round the back, let the low back rest a moment. Okay. Now the next one is combining a roll up, which is what you'd find in Pilates, where we roll up one vertebra at a time. But this is including a bit of a shoulder press. So we're going to roll down. One leg is straight, one leg is bent. The straight leg, that arm is the one with the weight. We're going to lift it. All right. Pull that navel into the floor. You're activating the core by drawing the navel down. You're going to roll up one vertebra at a time and lift into a nice straight line, arm right beside the ears. And rolling back down one vertebra at a time. Now you can use that other leg to kind of help you get up. Now if you need a little bit more advanced movement, then you straighten both legs. Other arm is not helping. Rolling down. One more. And bring it down. Go ahead and set that weight down. Bend both knees. Legs are hip width apart. And you can even pull the hips or the heels a little closer in. We're going to be taking that one leg that was straight. We're going to straighten it out, point the toes. We're going to combine a Pilates leg circle with a bridge. So drawing the navel toward the spine, we're going to roll up. And actually you can leave both feet on the floor for now if you want. And we're going to roll up. And then straighten and keep the hips lifted as you circle that leg. So the movement of the leg causes the body to have to stabilize constantly. You're working in the hip. You're working in the hip of the other leg that's keeping you high, keeping you up. And the other direction. Keep pressing into the heel of that bent leg. Stay lifted. In 4, 3, 2, and bring it down. Whew. All right. Now, before we get to the other legs, we're going to do a little alternating dead bug is what they call it. We're going to really activate that deepest muscle that runs side to side in the abdominals. So, both legs up, both arms up. Now we're in a chair position, means you don't want your knees to come too close to you. Keep them out, and keeping the core tight and activated. Keep the low back pressed into the floor. That's the important part. Don't go out so far that your low back arches. All right, opposite arm and leg. We just extend out and up, then other side. Now you may not want to extend that leg all the way out there if you're not able to keep the low back connected to the floor. It's just kind of a therapeutic core exercise to really activate all the muscles around the torso of the body, all the abdominals. The core is in charge of stabilizing your spine. So we definitely take our time. Even though some of these exercises seem really simple, they're very powerful for strengthening the core. Almost there. 4, 3. One more time. Just hug those knees in. Let the low back stretch a moment. All right, feet hip width apart. Well, then we'll go back to our roll up. Okay, grab your weight. Now, other leg is straight. That weight is in that arm. Remember, you're coming up one vertebra at a time. Starting with the navel pulled down, roll up, and straighten. Rolling back down. Push to the ceiling. Or in this case, the sky. Pulling that arm back beside the ear. Get real tall. Push it up. Use your leg for a little help if you need to. Or you can even try both legs straight. Four, 3, 2. One more time. Alright, set your weight down. Probably pull your pants up. Alright, other leg. We're going to be doing some leg circles. Let's start in that bridge first. Hips, legs hip width apart. Pull the heels in. We're going to start with the tailbone and peel up off the floor. Come up into a bridge. Now your glutes and your hamstrings are squeezing to keep the hips up. Don't let them drop down. Other leg, point the toe, nice and straight. Really lengthen out through the toe. You're feeling a contraction in your quads and your hands. Your body weight is into this heel that's on the floor. Only do what you can. We build up endurance in all these core hip, shoulder stabilizers over time. Other direction. So don't ever do more than what the body wants to do at that point. In fact, you can just hold that leg straight if you want. Or just hold a bridge, both feet on the floor. Keep the hips up. All right, 4, 3, 2, and bring it down, and down. All right, we did our dead bug. Now, we're not going to do the dead bug again. We are, however, going to do a crunch circle. So the whole upper body is going to be doing a circle. We're in a crunched position. So it'll not only work the front of the abdominals, the six-pack muscles, but it'll get into your obliques, the ones that crisscross your sides. All right. So you're going to support the weight of your head in your hands, but we're not pulling with the hands. Keep some distance between your chin and your chest. All right. Let's float up to start with, pulling the navel into the floor. And then you just circle around. Exhale. Inhale. So the upper curve of the body is making a circling motion. It might not be very pretty. Not a perfect circle. Keep those elbows back. Don't pull with your hands. And other direction. We're using the abdominals to get that shoulders and upper back up off the floor. Three, 2, and 1. Stretch it out for a moment. Get that spine to lengthen. Feels good to do that. All right, bring the arms in. And we're going to turn to our side. Alrighty. So, just a little sideline motion here to work on the stabilizers in the hips. We're going to be doing an arcing motion, and so it works all the different areas of the hip, not just like isolating one area. So, you're going to come down, just be comfortable on your side, nice and straight. We're going to pull the navel in toward the spine, and of course activating the core will help us stay balanced. You can use that upper arm for some help with balance and leverage. You're going to point the toe. Now you're going to feel the quadriceps, the glutes, and the hamstrings really tighten as you lengthen through that toe. Keep the knee facing front, and we're just going to tap front, and then as if you're tapping behind, draw the navel in. Now, don't force it back there. I don't think we'll be able to really tap unless you've got a lot of flexibility in your heel, in your hip. Up, make it big, so that we're strengthening the muscles around the hips. Now your core, we're working all the way up into the torso of the body. Those obliques are really working here. Up and around. Starting to feel some fatigue around the hip joint. We just do a pretty long series. We don't have any extra weight, it's just the weight of that leg, which is heavy enough. All right, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Woo! Let it rest. Now, from here, we're going to be going to our tummy. So we're facing down, prone position. We'll be doing a Superman in 3 parts. Arm lift, leg lift, and then both. So we want to really get long, extend out long, reach through those fingertips, reach through the toes. So you're not going to be bending your legs or your arms. Keep everything nice and straight. In fact, you can also alternate one at a time. If you have trouble in your shoulders or in your hips that you can't lift both arms, you can always modify. All right, you're looking down at the mat, tucking the chin, and we're going to lift the front of the arms, just a few here, and get the feel for it. You're using all the muscles down the back of the body, starting with the shoulders, going down your spine, your upper and lower back, down into your glutes. One more. Now legs, just up and down, reaching out through the toes. Try to keep the knees pretty straight and try to get the thighs up off the floor. In 4, 3, 2. Now it's a little rhythm. It's one arm, one leg, and both. Lift the chest a little here. And arms, lift the chest, legs, both. Arms and chest, legs, both. Arms, legs, up, reach, reach, up, hold them, reach, reach. One more time. All right. You can certainly feel where those work. You feel it in your low back and your glutes, back of your shoulders. All right, we're going to now turn over to that second side and do the front and back leg lift. And then we will end up with a small pair of weights for our last exercise. So I'm going to flip around. So I'll face you. All right, remember this was just on your side. So be comfortable on your side. You're going to stretch out that top leg, lock the knee, reach out through the toe. Keep that knee facing front. It's not turned out. All right, draw the navel in. Just tapping as big as you can without straining any muscles in the hip. So your core immediately activates. It has to really be in charge of controlling that leg. The leg muscles are involved in the lift, but so are the core muscles. Really keep it long and straight. So there are many things we can do on our side for those leg muscles. Another one similar to this would be just lifting the leg and doing leg circles. And it works those same muscles all around the hip joint. But we use a lot of variety so that we don't get bored. And the body likes to have variety so we don't get into a rut and then stop getting any value out of the effort. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Whew. All right. So the last thing we're going to do is facing down. We'll need a little set of real small dumbbells, and you can also just use the weight of your arms. So I'll be Using my 2.5-pound plates. I also have 1.25 over here that I could use. If anything ever gets too hard, or if it's too hard for the shoulders especially, we just modify. Alright, we're going to do a prone facing, or down facing, lat pull down. So like in the gym, when you pull that bar down, we're going to be doing it in a prone position. So, arms out in front. Now we're also going to look down on this one. Don't look forward. You don't want to strain the neck. Alright. So lifting one arm, palm down, lifting the other arm, and just pull those elbows down to your side. We're really using the back of the shoulder, using the back muscles, actually all the muscles in the back of the body, using a lot of rotator cuff. In 4, 3, 2, and last one. Go ahead and set them down. Now reach out, lengthen. Alright, bring your hands in beside your rib cage, tucked in close to the body, elbows close. We're going to stretch the front of the shoulders and the chest first by pushing up as high as you're able to do, depending on your spine. Kind of like an upward facing dog in yoga. And then down, we're going to widen out those feet because we're going to go from here back into a child's pose. So press through the palms, come up on the knees, and then stretch it back. And then raise. You're going to tuck those toes under and lift the knees, lift the hips. Start walking back, trying to keep the legs pretty straight there. Hang a moment, let the backs of the legs stretch. And then bend and roll up. And then step wide to stretch those hips. Around the hips, the ones that we're working all those stabilizers. Bending one knee like it's a one-legged squat. Oh, there's one thing we have to do that I forgot to do. And other side. You support yourself on this. Keeping the back flat. All right, let's roll up. And let's get that other leg with that one-legged squat that I forgot. Alright, we're going to sit down into that squat. Leg angles out behind, it's straight. Belly button pulled in. And lift at that angle. This is one of the more important hip stabilizer exercises of the day. So if we just did one side, we would be lopsided. Walk around in circles. Now see if you can do a little squat lift. Woo. 4, 3, 2, last one, feet close. Let's come into a little squat, push into one of the hips. And the back straight. And up, and other side. And up. Palm elbows together behind. And that helps to stretch all the shoulders, shoulder muscles, and across the chest. Release the elbows, let the arms drop behind, tilt the head forward. And then back to center, lift out away from the body. One more stretch for the front of the body. And release them. Keep the shoulders back. Perfect posture. And we'll see you again. Thanks.